of the two snake ladies is the original one we have been pretty much the entire time?
The original is the one that's above giant Roland T-Rex.
Will a real slim snaky please stand up?
He would, but I don't think he can actually sit down. T-Rex legs are not designed for that. But yeah, that's my action. I don't really have anything I can do with my bonus action. Last name?
Okay, so Janek, you're up. Let me try and find you.
Any old thing will work.
Any old thing will work.
Ah, the rocking us
Hmm.
Well, I did link a very cute image of a rocking us on.
A cute image.
I can post it again if I find it.
Let me see. Give me a second. There you go.
Rocking us up.
You can use this for the moment.
That's a picture on
I'll need control.
I can't give you control of that for some reason. Anyways, just mark where it's at for now, and where you want it to go.
It is currently to top right of the thing, and I wanted to go 25 feet to there. And that's my bonus action. And spell, if I have it, that will reach that. This will work.
famous last words.
Well, you'll cast that far. And I'm sorry, Tosin, this may affect you, but
Well, as long as you don't kill me.
I don't think it'll kill you. So right here, right on top of the dude, I will cast hypnotic pattern.
What's the point?
Their save is 16.
No, at what?
Is
Where are you?
wisdom save.
Where are you dropping
sorry.
it?
It sounded
on
like
top of
you. Sounded like you were asking him why he was
Yeah,
doing
what's
it.
Yeah.
the point?
What's
the
the
point?
What's the point, Kurt? I mean,
You're gonna die
honestly.
anyway. I've made this dungeon impossible.
Why is Gamora?
A 30-foot cube within
Her
range.
tail.
So that's where you want it to center, or that's where you want the edge of the cube to be?
I think that's probably where I could see. I don't know if I could see any further around the corner. Really. I'm here. Yeah, I mean, I could cast it on her body, but I can't go any further.
Cast it on her butt.
On the bone.
You got to be able to see it. So
Oh,
I want to
okay.
cast it in front of her face.
Maybe she'll be like one of those cats when they get tape stuck to the end of their tail.
Nice.
So I have sort of just walked up to her so she might be looking left right now.
Purples are a thing. It might be fine.
I'm assuming that the other one might. I'm hoping.
Do we have to make the save?
Wisdom save.
So, like that.
I'm assuming I have to see the center of the cube.
Center of the cube.
You can't throw a grenade and have it blow one way, so
Hmm.
it blows out from where it lands.
Let me steal you on the school of evocation.
Okay.
Hey. Was.
Okay.
Maybe that too.
All right. So everyone in that cube, go ahead and make a save.
Already done.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, I forgot Chaya was around there.
All right. So this twisting, this cube of like twisting light and patterns springs up in that cube, starts flashing around you guys. Dale, you're able to kind of like see it and kind of see it for what it is. Oh shoot, you don't need to. But Shia, you're kind of entranced by it, quite suddenly.
What about the snake lady?
We're gonna see in a minute. Uh, 14. So she fails.
Nice.
So let me see here. On field save, the creature becomes charmed for the duration.
Oh.
Transfer-
Only ends when she takes damage or someone uses their action.
Spines for uses an action to shake the creature out of its stupor. Okay, so it's charmed for the moment. You and Chaya both are charmed.
Or rather, it and
Right. Bloop. Okay. Elizabeth, you're up.
The snake lady that I can see, is that the one that was just summoned or the one that we've been fighting this whole time?
That's the one that was just summoned.
Okay. I'm gonna move forward.
Okay.
Wait, what's this?
Oh, that's the spiritual weapon.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Janrix Happy Sock.
Okay.
Oh.
Wait, is it actually on the map? I can't see it.
It's
Wind
It's,
Harrow.
this is that token.
Oh.
By the
Yeah,
way,
it's
Brad, I
beyond
have
there.
put in the Discords the token that might be a better replacement.
Rock and a sock.
I'd like to
Ooh.
take advantage on that first one.
I mean, you have advantage because it's incapacitated by default.
I do?
Well, yeah, but you're also going to break it out with incapacitation
Well,
because it's gonna take damage.
well. The only thing I can hit, so I'm gonna do it anyway. And 2 natural 20s.
So do I just
Kinda worth it.
do I just copy that and paste it?
Yeah, sure, you can do
I
that.
think you can.
Yeah, that's the end of my turn. So.
Wow.
Which also means that the snake lady is no longer gonna be incapacitated.
Wouldn't let me.
Probably is bad news for China. Sorry, China.
It's the only thing I could
Hey,
do,
it's
dude.
on.
I know.
So you fired 2 Eldritch Blasts at the snake person?
Yup.
Okay. Well, you
I'll shove her into the wall, why not?
2 criticals, huh? So so I just looked up incapacitated. It doesn't say anything about advantage. It just says you can't take actions or reactions.
would she not lose her like Dex AC, but all that stuff?
So incapacitated just says an incapacitated creature can't take actions or reactions.
No, sorry, I confused it with, I believe.
Paralyzed.
Sorry, yeah, my bad.
Oh yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
what-
take
Or
advantage on
unconscious.
the first one anyway.
Okay. Fair enough.
Also, I didn't read the spell to know that hitting it would end that spell completely. So
Sorry, Kurt. All right,
To be fair,
so
I shouldn't technically know it anyway.
so Elizabeth, you throw your hands out, both of them, and out of each hand, a blast of eldritch energy, green energy, flies out and smashes into the creature. Who's kind of wobbling back and forth, and you deal it 25 damage, straight up,
Yeah, it's the end of my turn.
breaking it out of the charm though.
This is about to be a lot of attacks because if I recall correctly,
Oh yeah, that was a lot.
7, what's 14 attacks right now. Come on, let's do it.
It would have been 7.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, that's 2 different times.
Yeah, because they're two different creatures. Generally, if it's like hobgoblins or goblins, and there's like a bunch of them, I'll just have them all go at once. But if they're like two creatures, I'll do 2 separate. Anyways, yeah. So the creature kind of shakes her head, and looks at you two standing by, and takes 2 attacks against you each.
So that's Tozen and Chaya,
Yeah.
yeah? Okay, so when she makes an attack against Chaya, I will react to make an attack on her.
Okay. So attack against Chaya. 16 misses. Attacks against you, Tozen's a 26, and it hits for 17 damage. And Tozen, go ahead and make your reaction attack.
Already done. I'm thinking that missing.
Oh,
How
14?
much damage did she...
17.
How much damage did she... 17.
And she looks over. Elizabeth, did you roll by chance? You're 20.
Roll what? No, I didn't, because I thought that you were doing it. I'll roll.
Alright, I usually do. So I'll just do it. Oh, thank God.
Holy shit.
Okay. Give me a second. Give me a second.
Ah.
Yay! Thank God. Baby?
Give
What's that for?
me a second.
You'll find out very shortly.
Oh no.
Give me a
She did a thing to
second.
give herself advantage, and I don't know, I'm thinking this is not a good result.
Hold
wild
on.
magic?
Depending on the next roll.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
No.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I like how the conversation is now just, oh.
On the
Ah.
bright side, no one is directly around me.
Oh.
There's a couple of spells that won't affect anyone but me.
Ah.
I don't know what that is to know
Like-
if I should be afraid or not.
If you've ever seen the movie The Dark Crystal, there's the Chamberlain character who's always going,
It's
We're a
like,
we're a party of Yodas.
Yeah, exactly.
if you played Minecraft recently, the villagers all go,
Mm.
Oh yeah, the sad Squidward sound.
Hey, that's a good one.
That was a good one. Maybe.
Okay,
We're talking
so
Charlotte.
so Elizabeth, as you cast that that spell, you feel this wellspring of power kind of boil up within you, and you just feel faster than you normally would. So from now on, let's see here. For the next minute, all of your spells are the casting time of 1 action and the casting time of 1 bonus action.
What?
Oh, yeah.
"Our mutations
Yeah.
apply."
Okay.
Only applicable in the 48 states and Alaskan Hawaii.
That doesn't work in California. Yeah.
Or this demi-plane.
Yeah.
Not as dramatic as I would have hoped, but that's the one we rolled.
That's pretty freaking cool.
It's cool,
The fate is right.
It's
But-
like that sorcery effect without spending the sorcery.
but she didn't de-age 10 years. You know, it's just what I was hoping for. All right, so there's 2 attacks. Tozen, you lash out with your attack and it misses. The creature, as a result, attacks you one more time. With its longsword. It's a 15 and it misses. But it's doing that as it starts running away, which is why it misses, and it's running towards Elizabeta.
Shit.
Because she's...
Wait, something about. I'm not sure if my sentinel would make its speed become 0.
Well, you didn't hit it.
Use my reaction. Ah, right, of course.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. What's her speed? 40, 35. So Elizabeth, it runs up next to you and attacks you 3 times with the rest of its longsword attacks.
Mhm.
17, 22, and a 24.
Hold on a second.
All 3 of those hit.
Double checking something. I'm gonna use shield.
Okay. On all 3 attacks or just one?
It
Oh, it's
lasts
just one, right? It's a
turn.
reaction. Ooh.
No, it lasts until the end of the next turn, or the beginning of the next turn.
But
That's
I
right.
don't think it stops the 22.
So
No,
you,
no, it doesn't.
as this thing starts raining down blows, you throw up your hands real quickly as a reaction, and this shimmering blue shield springs up around you. 2 of the sword blows bounce right off, but the third one smashes through your shield. Oh no, it's a 22 and a 24. So those both scoot through. But it does block one of them. So both of those attacks, scoot through. Snake through. Both of those attacks are 12s, so you take 24 damage total.
Okay.
And she's going to attack you with her tail for her last attack.
Okay.
It was a 21, which gets blocked.
Just hit. No, it just hits.
It's
Your
My new
AC
AC is
now
20.
21.
okay. So that's 19 more damage, and you're grappled and restrained by her tail as it swings out from the back, smashes you in your ribs, and wraps around you.
Okay.
So 12, 12, and 19 for damage, and that's her turn. Chaya, you're up.
Has Trey taken damage to break out of
She hasn't.
the knotted fire?
These lights, y'all. These lights. Yeah, I don't think I can do anything.
Yo, this is great.
Diddaloo, diddaloo, diddaloo,
That's right.
diddaloo.
Yeah, Chaya's doing, she's disco dancing over there. Okay.
Ha 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 ha. TPK.
Was that TPK to the tune of Staying Alive?
Your turn, Rain, aka.
AKA me again.
Also, hello, Chaya. Or hello,
Hi, guys.
Sasha.
I'm Rain. Yeah. Hi, Sasha. I'm Rain. With my delicate feminine voice. Okay, so let me see. I was thinking about fireballing the snake lady, but this has become sort of difficult to consider. Ooh, there's that, which is nice. She's going to attempt to magic missile. Magic missile at level 1 is fine.
Okay. So you fling out your hand and 3 projectiles of magical energy fly out from your hand and smash into the Merilith.
What do you say again for magic missile? You take one and triple it, or is it?
We've been rolling on each one, I think, right, everybody? I forget every time.
I think we've been
We've
doing
been
roll
rolling.
for each.
There you go. There's the benefit. It worked out. It's almost about as good as it gets.
Could have been better.
Well, 9 wouldn't have been bad either. So
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, for 11 damage, smashes into the side of this creature.
Oh yeah, I know. He's gonna right over here. Nice clean cover.
So, Roland, you're at this point racing up to the other Merilith, this huge woman snake creature. Thomas is holding on to one of your scales on the side, and he jumps off as you skid up close and lands next to the creature. This is for my wife! And he starts swinging with his long sword back and forth at the creature. Yeah, if I can find. There we go. Oh,
What, did he crit it?
he did.
Yeah, Thomas pulling weight.
Huh?
So Thomas critted.
Wow.
I think Thomas would want to smite as well.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna smite.
Oh no, why couldn't you get those crits right since he was fighting us?
And as he races forward, he takes his sword and takes this huge swing. And as it's swinging forward, the blade gets encapsulated in orange and black flame and a searing light, and he smashes through the creature, dealing 66.
This is
Here we go. Hold on a second.
6d6, you guys, not 66.
It is six.
Okay.
It is 66. 6.
Well, I mean, what did Roland do with his crit? It was somewhere
40
around there.
something.
Oh, was it? Okay.
On the crit.
It's 90 total damage.
What the
What the hell?
Yeah. So it was a 33 for the 4th level smite, and then 13 plus 11 for the critical.
Jesus Christ.
So 90 damage. He kills it.
Was that the original or was that the summon?
That's the original one. I definitely was trying to leave that for you guys, but that was I can't fudge that one. All right, so
Did the summon pop out of existence then?
no. Nope.
I tried.
So Thomas's sword slices through the creature completely in half, gore going everywhere. It topples over dead in 2 different pieces.
I guess this was for his wife.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, so that thing's dead, and Thomas just kind of stands there, breathing heavy over the creature. Glances up at you, Roland, T-Rex. And now, Roland, it's your turn.
Yeah, I wasn't. I mean, I have the brain of a T-Rex right now, so didn't really was facing the Merilith that just got cleaved in half, so I have no idea what anything else is going on.
I mean, come on, T-Rexes are still
Into
like,
two.
natural hunters.
Yeah, I agree. Anyone who's seen Jurassic Park knows that they're pretty smart.
Don't you keep your mental stats anyway?
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh, you're no, that's only if you're wild shape.
Not polymorph.
Or for polymorph, it means that right now Roland has an int of 2.
An int. An int.
Yeah, and intelligence.
Actually found a video clip of Thomas cutting a snake in half.
Oh no. Hold on.
Oh.
Where is it?
Uh,
Oh yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, I guess big boy.
Oh, never log bottom.
Yeah, I guess big boy's just gonna go around the rock on the north side.
I mean, you have object thermals.
Yeah. Oh, what was the move speed on the big sunbit?
It's 50.
50? Man, that is so much movement. You don't expect that.
Good.
T-Rexes are good at acceleration.
It's those big strides.
Yeah.
So I'd be able to go somewhere around this side.
So as you round the corner, as you only see movement, right? You see another one of these creatures pounding Elizabeth with these strikes.
Have to use that one.
The moment I said it, I'm sorry. So he, slashing Elizabeth with these strikes, and then at the last, you see it hit her with its tail and wrap her up as you round the corner.
All right, then it would turn into a dash action,
Okay. Oh, no.
stomping his big self. Is that the 10-foot reach?
It does have a 10-foot.
Man, T-Rexes are great. I'm living my dream here, y'all.
Right?
All right. That's it. Like,
Yep. Okay. So this Merilith is dead. And Tozen, you're up.
Ah. Well, this one is dead and the other one's running.
Elizabeth, what are your current hit points?
Sorry.
Oh yeah, I didn't update the thing. I'm on 14.
Okay. Sorry, Tozen, go ahead. So Tozen, you race around the corner, you find Elizabeth in that precarious position. What do you do?
I would like to fighting spirit, action surge, attack. So, fighting spirit, that means I will have advantage on all my attacks this turn.
Okay.
And action surge, I'm going to attack 4 times.
Uh-huh.
Right? I think that's right. So, let's get started.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Alright, so Tozen, you race up with your sword, making 4 attacks. Your blade is a blur of speed. And you just start opening these huge gashes with each strike. Let's see here. 14, 22, 36, 48.
Don't forget the cold damage.
48. Oh, that's right. Hold on.
26 cold damage to
A total of 74 damage.
Oh my god.
Ah, man, it feels good to just hit shit with the sword.
Yeah, you just start rending this thing like you're a butcher. But it still looks pretty healthy.
It was pretty healthy.
Janrik.
At this point, I will say to it, you should never turn your back on an enemy. Face me.
I will.
Janrik, you're up.
spiritual weapon.
Okay. You already rolled a spiritual weapon attack.
I did.
Yeah, you can use that.
This is
So, this spectral sock with a rock in it kind of floats up and smacks her along the side of the head. Oh, you know what? Give me a second. It's not that much damage because she has resistance. No, I'm sorry. Well, not him. You. Well, I guess it's a magical, so even the slashing is magical. Yeah, never mind. Sorry. So yeah, the rock, sock and rock smacks her in the side of the head, dealing her 12. 22? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
22 force damage. It's a potent rock. Anything else, Jenner?
Actually,
Yeah.
I forgot something I wanted to do on my turn.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like just,
Sorry.
I wanted to shout to Genric, drop the colors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Is it action to drop? Or
You basically choose to no longer focus on it.
Yeah, I think that's fine. It doesn't say, so I think you're good. If you wanted to drop it, you could.
I will drop it.
Okay. So you drop hypnotic pattern. Bloop. And Chaya, you would be no longer hypnotized.
And I will cast 60 feet. Just barely 60 feet from my guy. Dissonant Whispers.
Dissonant wisps.
Wisdom save.
So this discordant melody starts echoing in this creature's mind, starts shaking its head back and forth. Wisdom has advantage. It's a 13. Yeah, she does. She gets a 13, so she passes.
DC 6.
It says DC 12 for wisdom.
It's a bard spell. My charisma DC save is 16.
She fails. Why does it say 12 on there?
Does it because it's based.
Can you only have one DC save on your character sheet for your
Yeah.
spell? So it's basing it off of wisdom, maybe instead of.
It is off of my wisdom, but it's the saving throw is it's wisdom. Don't know why. My charisma is 18. So what should be my sit?
Yeah, I did think that a DC 12.
Yeah, I'm not sure how multi-classing affects saves and stuff.
For the like DC and stuff.
Yeah.
It's still
Okay.
based off of.
It's based off of three things: the base 8 plus your proficiency plus a spellcasting mod.
So if it's like a bard spell, is it off of your bard? And if it was a cleric spell, would it be based off of like a cleric?
For like your
Yeah.
DC would
Yeah.
be no matter what. It's based off of where the spell comes from. So for cleric it'd be wisdom, for bard it'd be charisma, and that's it. If
Right.
you're a multi-class of like bard sorcerer, they have the same spell like rolls,
Right.
and
Both modifiers are
The same.
4.
For you, you're saying.
Yeah, for me. So base 8 plus 4, and proficiency is plus 4. So that's 16.
16. Cool. Alright. Yeah, I just wasn't sure about how to do that. So it fails, taking 12 damage.
must use its reaction to immediately leave the area if it can.
A creature doesn't move into obvious dangerous ground.
That part of the spell is conveniently bolded.
I did do that on purpose.
Very nice, very nice.
To as far as its speed allows from you. Alright, so it's going to run past Tozen, I guess.
Aha! Let's
Taking-
Can I
Doesn't
make
it-
I said would leave my reach. I will make an attack of opportunity. And if
And-
I hit,
So-
You can't do an opportunity attack on force.
On
movement.
force movement, yeah.
is this considered?
I'm pretty sure Dissonant
Yeah.
Whispers is the one that isn't considered force movement because it's using its
Oh,
own
really?
movement. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
the only one like that.
Oh,
It's not like force movement refers more to like being pushed away.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Under your own power.
gotcha.
So can I make the attack of opportunity?
Do it.
So,
Would the
so
T-Rex get its attack of opportunity? Is the real question.
Yes, it does. So Tozen,
Fantastic.
you miss. Oh no, wait. You hit it, Tozen.
Okay, and its speed becomes 0 as it would have been leaving my reach, so it's right next to me.
Okay.
I shouldn't have moved.
No, it's on the other side of me. It's on the other side of me. Because obviously it could still move within my sphere of influence when it's difficult to.
That's right, 5,
Okay, so
10.
it'd still leave mine.
15. Okay.
Yeah, you still get to.
Yeah, and then so as this creature just shakes its head back and forth in pain, it races away, slithers away. Tozen, you reach out with your sword, slash it across its tail. Elizabeth is being dragged along behind.
Here's a question: can a snake hold on to something with its tail and move?
Yes,
Okay.
this one can. And go ahead,
Another plus
Chip.
10?
As it's leaving, you lash out with your. Yeah, it's a plus
After the
10,
bite
dude.
attack. Yeah, it's the bite. So let's see how this roll goes.
So, so hold on, because in that sense, it wouldn't have been able to move because when you bite it, you grapple it. Oh no, because it's
It's medium.
it's a large sized creature. So,
Yeah.
all right, so you reach out and your jaws clamp onto it, tearing flesh from the creature, dealing 24 damage. 10.
Man, the stat block for the T-Rex is stupid. Got a lot going on.
Yeah, they're out of control.
Well, this one hopefully is still in control. It would be kind of inconvenient.
Just imagine if it was a frenzy barb that got turned into a T-Rex.
Good lord.
Shit, would he still be able to use his flesh?
Who knows? All right, so it's the creature's turn.
You skip mine.
Oh, I'm sorry, Elizabeth. Go ahead. You're up.
I'm gonna use my action to try and break out of it.
Okay.
I forget what the check is.
It's a 19.
No, what kind?
Oh.
It would be strength or athletics.
Acrobatics, I think.
Yeah, it's athletics or acrobatics.
Yeah, I think you have the choice usually, right?
I don't know if you're grappled, you get that choice. But either way, you don't pass.
Okay.
If you have a
You-
teleport effect,
You
you
can
always
cast a
get up.
spell
I
as a
have
bonus
none.
action.
I have no teleports.
Then, like,
But you can still cast a spell as a bonus action because of your wild
I
wonder.
can. I know. I just don't have much that's gonna help me right now. Fuck it. I'm gonna try and just hit it with a I try and hit it with a booming blade.
Okay.
So, if I remember correctly, I do the normal hit, then the damage for the is it lightning?
Thunder.
Thunder
Okay.
damage.
Boom.
Thundercats!
That's only if it moves, right? Or-
Yeah. No, you get on hit movement and then on move damage.
gotcha.
I just
So as this thing's dragging you around, bouncing along behind you, you pull out your sword, and you slash across
try
it.
jam it into the tail, like.
Yeah, you raise it up above you, and grab it with both hands, and slam it down into the tail. Screams. You deal it 12 damage.
And I also do the. And if it moves, it takes another 2d8.
Okay, so as you slam this sword down into the creature, you angle it to the side, push it even further, and you feel like some kind of resistance for a moment, and you push it in all the way to the hilt. The creature screams in pain, and then its whole body goes slack.
Oh shit.
And you kill it.
Oh.
I,
Pretty badass kill.
I'd like to imagine that the thunder damage, like, reverberated
Yeah.
through its entire
And then it
tail.
just crashed. Like this peal of thunder echoes across the cavern as just the force of that damage splits the tail open, revealing like vital organs.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but I had a plan to save.
I don't need to be saved.
I can see that.
Yeah, these Mariliths needed to be saved from us. And the holy smites.
I
Dude,
thought I
the
was gonna have to use
smites.
my tomb.
The smites were.
Ridiculous. In the best
The
way.
Tozen basically smoked that thing
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. Holy smokes.
Oh, yeah. I rolled pretty well.
Yeah, you did, buddy.
You didn't even need advantage on any of those. All of them.
Well, dude, and then T-Rex, 24 damage.
I mean,
I find
there was no point in not taking it. So
I find creatures that I think are gonna be hard, and then you guys just smash them.
I mean, you could have killed a couple of us.
Yeah, we
I
had
went to
some.
8.
I'm on 14. That's
it's mostly
pretty
just
low
like
against
the
one of
action.
these.
Yeah. It's mostly just like we're like 7 on 2.
And
I
there's
didn't
a
take any
T-Rex.
damage.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding
Pretty
me.
classic Janrik, though.
The only damage Jaya took was to her pride as she finds herself dancing like an idiot with a derpy smile on her face.
And then I had a point. Oh wait, I already said that.
Yes.
Repeating myself. No man.
You're just in character. It's okay.
I'm imagining Elizabeth like peeling herself out of the snake
Oh,
situation,
yeah.
grabbing her sword.
Just like yanking it out and just giving a nod.
And covered in blood and gore.
As per usual, to be perfectly honest.
That's good.
My constant existence. I want to loot this fucker.
Okay.
So I believe at this point Rain will stop focusing on the polymorph. Sorry, Chip.
Oh, thank God I can speak in character.
Okay, hold on.
What's looting? It's investigation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shouldn't have said I'd do that. Nope.
How does one resize their token again?
Alt.
You can't. The DM.
Oh yeah.
Let me do it. So as the creature dies, this peal of thunder tears the creature and rends it. A silence immediately falls upon the cavern. Everyone catches their breath. And Roland shrinks in size and returns to his normal shape. Elizabeth, you start going over this creature.
2 coppers.
Yeah, I didn't really cover this before, as it would have been inappropriate. But the creature doesn't seem to be wearing all that much as far as
No.
clothing is concerned. And as you kind of are looking over
They're
the
like
creature,
snakes in pockets. No?
it has
Okay.
six long swords. They're fearsome weapons, finely made, but nothing really of note other than that.
Yeah, I have a fire sword. Okay. I'm done.
Jandrik's gonna look around the rest of the cavern to see if there's anything.
Cool. Basically.
Before anyone repeats my mistake, I will say, the orb, I should warn you all, appears to be somewhat dangerous.
As
I'm just over there about to touch it. Like, what was that?
as you hear this, Elizabeth, as you're walking up to it, and you hear Tozen say that, you hear like cracks. And as you watch, the pedestal upon which this orb is sitting starts to crack and bend, and eventually it shatters in shards of metal that bounce and fly in every direction. The orb itself thunks heavily onto the dais and rolls slowly down the 3 steps and rests on the cavern floor.
I'm gonna stand by it, but I'm not gonna touch it. Just to
Yeah,
sort of
Tozen is
make sure it doesn't roll away anymore.
Okay. Like slowly stepping over, and definitely if he saw you reaching for it, he would.
I wasn't actually gonna reach for it. I wasn't actually.
So Janrik, go ahead and do an investigation check.
Oh!
What the hell is with us?
That's the way of it.
We have plot armor.
So Janrik,
Don't
you
worry, you guys were the final boss would be rolling nothing but ones.
yeah, you guys are insane. So Janrik, you spend your time while everyone's doing this other stuff, searching the cavern. So you kind of start searching these random spots, and you remember that she said that she had who is Maliki sent this time. And with that in mind, as you start searching through some of these other kind of nooks and crannies of these caverns, you find a few dead bodies lying around, perhaps failed heroes coming to deal with the creature. And then searching their bodies, you find about 250 gold pieces, 100 silver pieces worth of treasure.
Shall I add that to the treasury, or are you going to keep that?
No, you can add it.
So you said 250 gold and 100 silver.
Yes.
So basically 260.
You know, Jandrik is a reformed man. He's found religion.
As you're standing there, you hear the you hear some kind of discordant banging and some noises coming from the other Marilith's body.
Roland's gonna rush over and see what the hell Thomas is up to.
Okay, go ahead and move your character. So
Your fellow.
as you round the corner, you see Thomas He's kind of breathing heavily, and you watch him. He's unstrapping himself out of his armor. You see a couple of pieces on the ground already. His pauldrons, his greaves, his gauntlets, lying on the floor. You see him reach down and unclasp his breastplate and backplate, and throws them on the ground. Pulls off his leg armor. And he's basically taking off his armor and laying it on the ground. He looks over his shoulder. You can see he has tears running down his cheeks. He's not weeping, but you can see he's dealing with some emotions there.
We did it.
Did we
Yes.
crack the ball? I'm sorry.
No, the ball is still there. The pedestal is broken and shattered, but the ball itself, as you see it just sitting there, you can see the swirl of the souls inside of the ball swirling around every once in a while, like peering up and running themselves against the edge of the glass, it would seem, and then disappearing back into the swirl of the ball.
I don't know if like a major dispel magic would work on it, but I can't do that anyway. I look over at Rain. I mean, at this point in time, could it hurt? But then again, I don't know if we want to be near it when she does it.
Maybe we should just bring it, rather, perhaps we should
Oh, to
simply
Maliki?
bring it back to you. Yes, I have no doubt that she will know what to make of this item.
If you want to touch it, be my guest.
I have no intention of touching this thing again. No, I have a better idea. Now I'll kind of like take out a rope from my backpack and can I like make a sort of
Gonna make a macrame pot holder.
The tea cozy.
The ones you hang from your
you know,
porch.
like
Yeah.
While he's like doing all this with the rope and everything, I cast Mage Hand. And is the ball less than 10 pounds?
It is heavier than 10 pounds.
No.
So your
That
mage
would've been-
your mage hand kind of reaches out and encapsulates the ball, and as it tries to pick it up, it kind of phases through it. You can tell it's more than 10 pounds. What did you want to do with your rope, Tozen?
basically just like wrap it around the thing so that I can lift it without it actually physically touching it,
Okay.
making basically like a cocoon for it.
Okay, yeah, you're able to get some kind of make some kind of almost like a harness using some knots. And you'd be able to do that.
Then I'll kind of like sling it on my back, I guess, like a backpack. And well, I think we have gotten the game here for. We should be going now.
So, Thomas, he looks up at over his shoulder at you, Roland. I've been a fool, son. He turns back and looks at the creature. And I don't know what to do now.
I know what we must do. We need to bring that orb to Maliki and see about freeing Mother. And from there, we'll see where life takes us.
He is holding his sword, looks at it, tosses it onto the floor, turns and walks to you. Mother better face her, I suppose. And he walks past you towards the orb.
And I follow behind.
And as you guys watch Roland and Thomas walk up to you, Thomas is just wearing his normal clothing that he would wear underneath his armor. His armor and sword left behind.
Well, I suppose we shall be going now. That's correct.
Well, this has been going on. Chaya's been kind of trying to give the other bodies a semi-burial, sprinkling a little dust, saying a little prayer, kind of arranging them more, like cross arms, laying down, sort of thing.
Okay.
Well, if we've got everything we need, let's get going.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys gather up the orb. Toes, and it's heavy. It probably weighs about 50 pounds or so. You would imagine.
Yeah, I'm pretty burly, but maybe someone can carry my actual backpack for this.
Master Tozen, would you like me to make it float for you?
Would you need to touch it and make it so?
No.
And that would be greatly appreciated. Madam China.
Alright, then she'll close her eyes and concentrate. Cast levitate on the orb.
Yeah, I mean, before you do that, I'm not saying that it's 50 pounds that you couldn't carry. It's just heavy. That's all. But if
This is better.
okay, to try you cast levitate, you reach out with your mind and you focus your energy, and your key forms a magical barrier around the ball that you are able to control with your mind. You lift it up off the ground, and as you walk out of the cavern, it floats out before you.
So this is more like like a kid holding a balloon than a man carrying.
Yes, a little bit.
Exactly. You'd still have to control where it goes.
Right.
There's
I
a
suppose
lot
that's
of
true.
Kind of like this
That's
is kind of
true.
like the reverse of what we had before.
Yep.
We had a Tozen balloon.
Now Tozen has the balloon.
Yeah.
Tie it to your ankle and turn it to a skip it.
Yeah,
Hey
I thought-
guys,
yeah.
let's
Oh.
play a game. If you don't touch the ball, you go insane.
That's like one of those memes. 90s kids will know what that is. So, let me see here.
Wow, we really ruined like Thomas's emotional moment, didn't we?
Yeah. Tears are streaming down his cheeks. He's walking out somberly and slowly. Meanwhile, Tozen has to skip it.
It is done.
Chaya's skipping rope up the. So you guys,
If only Roland was still as a dinosaur. And,
Yeah.
and
We're basically using it for a game of pickup baseball or volleyball.
so you guys start walking up out, and soon enough, you guys exit the cavern. Maliki is standing there, still waiting. You've done it. She walks forward, reaches out with her hands and takes hold of the orb itself, removes the rope, and holds it as she looks at it. It doesn't seem to be heavy for her.
Yeah,
Well, there is
we
still
did it.
technically left.
I mean, you were the goddess, and I'm still not sure why you didn't do it yourself, but you sent us to do it. We did it, and we're just mere mortals.
Roland looks like he is physically restraining himself from backhanding.
Generally, Jews probably show a lot of courtesy to divine members.
He doesn't do that to anyone.
Yeah.
Why start now?
The bardiest bard who ever lived.
So, she looks down at you, Janrik, raises her eyebrow. That's why you're there, small and mortal, and I am far more wise than you. Trust me.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I understand. I mean, we do the things that gods can't.
Jesus Christ.
At this point, Chosen is like face palming, like slowly shaking his head.
She looks
That
up.
last,
She looks
that
up at the
last
rest
thing might
of
be
you.
true, though. I mean, some gods can't. They're not allowed to fight other gods. So
I doubt that the thing that needs today was divine nature.
So Thomas walks up to her and falls down onto his knees in front of her. I don't know how to say it. I'm done. Judge me as you will. She looks down at him and up at you, Roland. I am not without mercy. I know what the death of a loved one would do to a man and his family. What you have done, the things you have done since your wife's death, some of them are terrible. But I do believe that you can be redeemed, Thomas, in time. Though, not immediately. That is for certain. You, Roland, if you would choose so, you may return to me. I would reinstate your oath. That is your decision to make. For the time being, Thomas, I need you to do something for me. She takes the orb and places it on the ground, crouches over it, and starts focusing with her hands and her mind. And you see, and a portion of the orb breaks off in her hand. It's just a little shard. And inside of it, you can see the telltale sign of a soul swimming around in the ether. And seemingly out of nowhere, she forms a chain of some kind of silvery metal before your eyes, places the crystal shard in that chain, and puts it over Thomas's head. Here is your wife. For now, Thomas, I need you to return to the place of her death, her burial place. I will meet you there. And I will restore your wife to you. But I will call upon you soon to my service. You have much to atone for. As you look at Thomas, you see tears running down his cheeks. And he silently weeps. What say you, Roland?
I will rejoin you. I still care too much for people and the world, and aligning myself with your favor and my old oath again seems like the best way to try and stop the other things that are going on and make sure that there is something to protect.
Perfect. Your shield, then.
He hands her his shield.
She takes hold of it, plants it in the earth, puts one hand on top, and takes her other hand and starts focusing upon it. The shield starts glowing with a green and radiant light. And in a few seconds, the light fades. She hands the shield back to you. The sigil on the front restored. And
He would bow down before accepting it back.
And protect you must. The lot of you must. These cults grow in power, and they threaten the natural world. They threaten the natural world. I need you to fight, Roland. I need you to win. Stand up.
He stands.
It's good to have you back.
It's good to be back. It's good to have my father back as well, and soon my mother.
Are you ready to return? And with that, she's asking the rest of you.
I nod.
And with that, she has you gather round, hold hands once again. And again, you feel yourself torn from that place. And you feel yourself plummeting through reality back towards Faerun. So for now, let's take a quick break, and we'll come back in 5 or so minutes.
And level up.
Not yet.
Oh, come on.
You guys just leveled.
We did just.
I know. Yeah, but still. Derek is greedy. Come on.
All right, guys. So five or so minutes. We'll be back.
5 or so what?
Minutes.
You
We're
come
gonna
back when we're taking a break.
I know. Sorry, I just noticed that you said you were gonna be gone. What did you miss? When did you leave?
I missed.
Well, I guess you don't know what you missed. But...
I mean, Roland was discussing with Maliki about the details of returning back to her service, and she just got his sigil back.
So she welcomed him back, and then she transported you guys. So right now you're in the course of being transported back to the Forgotten
Sigil a unicorn?
the Forgotten Realms.
That's her avatar, or one of them. She can also appear as human.
Ah.
I mean, like,
I think the unicorn is like the symbol of like kind of the
like that would be the kind of symbol you'd get put onto a shield or something.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Her. I think it's a unicorn head with like
Yeah.
some stars around it or something like that.
Hey, by the way, Brad.
Yeah, it's me.
I keep forgetting, but I mentioned to you that I had this tool that allowed me to import pretty much any monster in the same format that we used for the adventures.
Yeah, you did.
Let me pass you a link real quick. It's in the main one because everyone can make use of this. There's a section that says use Roll20, and basically, if you do that, you can import like any monster from any of the books, including some third-party content. It's really convenient. I use it for my games all the time. There's also a couple of things that let you use dynamic lighting, even without Roll20 Plus, but that's, you know, some people may find it
Bestiary, searchable, filterable list. Well, I have the plus, so an encounter builder is included. Creature challenge rating. Yeah, yeah, that would have been helpful. I mean, most of what I do is with the book, but in this case, I just basically typed out this creature's character sheet. I made it an NPC.
Yeah, I know. I've
And then
sort of the same thing before. But it takes time and it's
Yeah.
much more convenient.
yeah, it does take time.
Especially if you want to run like a homebrew game like I do and don't buy the Roll20 content.
Let me see here.
Yeah, basically you download Thunder Monkeys and you install the thingy. And you also do you use Chrome?
Yep.
Okay, then you also download the Roll20 Enhancement Suite. But once you have those three things, then you pretty much should be able to just import stuff freely.
Cool. Thanks, man.
No worries. It's been so useful to me as a GM that I, care and give back. I can help you set it up too if you want, because it is kind of confusing when you're trying to make it work the first time. Just let me know if you want some pointers.
Okay. Yeah, well.
How about our paladins going 2 for 2 on crit smites during this battle?
Dude.
So Thomas did a 4th level crit, right?
Yeah.
God, that's so much damage.
Dude,
Only
it was
time it goes
wild.
above the 5d8 is when you have a fiend. It's so great.
Ooh, that's right. It was a fiend. It probably would have done more damage. I didn't even do
Oh.
that.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, it should have been 2 more d8, but that would have been unnecessary at that point.
Well, let's see what it would have been. Ah,
Oh yeah.
there we go.
I mean, it is pretty like, I don't know. That's really thematic for the father and son to be the ones crit smiting that specific fiend.
Seriously. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted you to be the one to kill him, but I couldn't fudge that. I'm like,
No, it's good. Like, I'm not upset with how things went. Like, that was great. Opened the entire encounter by just getting a crit smite in, and it ended with a crit smite.
crit smite on a fiend.
And then she, dumped 7 attacks into rolling.
Dad, she always put you down.
I mean, can't blame her. If someone ran up to anyone and hit them for a lot of damage, actually, yeah.
She has a lot of hit points too. She has like 183, 185 hit points. So had you not,
I mean, really,
See-
I understand. She was staying away from Janeric.
so the second one, my plan was to basically run through you all and kill all the casters with that one, but it didn't work out.
Things tend to not go that way.
But yeah, but seriously though, had those smites not happened,
Twice might have been.
yeah, I mean that's a lot of hit points, and so,
That means between Roland and Thomas, there was like 150 damage right
Yeah.
there.
well, so that creature can, so it has the parry reaction, so it can add +5 to its armor class, make it a 23, but it can do a reaction every turn of combat. So
And it wouldn't help against crits anyway.
yeah, no, for sure. Like that's what I'm saying. So those crits. So otherwise, it's really hard to hit.
Otherwise, you're hitting it like half as often.
Half as often. Plus, it's resistant to pretty much everything, unless it's magical. So and plus, it has magic resistance. So in theory, like it's a pretty tough creature. But those smites, and so it does like 7 attacks, and all the damage is pretty high. So you could just run up to someone and
Really,
hit
it's
them
really
like
high.
7 times and just bust you down to 0. Move on to the next one. Bust you down.
Yeah, because
So-
she missed like 2 attacks against Roland and still like
Yeah,
95 to 8.
dude.
Yeah,
Tons.
so
And wo-
like
and wo-
charming one of them and taking them out of the fight would have been a great thing for somebody to have done.
Yeah. Elizabeta. Hey, it was great. And it was. It's pretty awesome.
She's not even
So-
here to bag on.
So the and the tail attack, once you hit them, it's an automatic grapple and a restraint, and the creature.
Advantage on all attacks too.
So the creature that's wrapped up in the tail it's an auto hit too. You can hit it at will. So it's a guaranteed hit every single time too.
Yeah, basically what it was gonna do was when
They're
Raiden's
pretty.
turn
They're pretty
came up,
tough.
it was gonna walk up to Elizabetta and dimension door her out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That would have been cool.
Yeah, because she was focusing on the polymorph obviously, so she couldn't banish. I considered banishing her.
Ah, wait, but wouldn't Banish actually been a solid go?
No, Banish would have sent one of them back to hell.
Yeah,
Basically. Oh, give me a moment.
which means we're not dealing with them.
Would Elizabeth have
Right.
gone as well?
No,
wouldn't that be a thing? Gotta
It
go to hell.
banishes the creature that you cast it on.
Sorry, bye.
It's been nice, Elizabeth. See you later.
Hey Maliki, we need a favor. We gotta go to hell real quick.
Big favor. Just a little one.
Just a small one. Alright. Alright, so, oh man, I gotta tinker my sheet at some point and change everything back to ancients.
Oh.
But I have Misty Step again, so I'm happy. That's so great.
Alright, I'm back.
I think the only one we're missing is
No, you ain't.
Oh yeah.
Were you here for me to hear me bash on you?
Yeah.
Well, it's no fun if you don't respond.
I've got nothing to say to that.
That's funny.
How about you answer that? Shame.
I will not.
You were
Shame.
right, Kurt.
Shame. Right back.
I will
Right
not.
is wrong. You were
I will
right
not
all
admit.
along.
I would never admit that Kurt is right because he already thinks he's already right. So I don't need to add to it.
Fair enough.
Oh, such noble intention.
Nah,
You're
don't
doing it
admit.
to
I don't
help
admit
him.
defeat. Refused. Plus,
You-
he is right. I should have read the fucking spell.
Oh, Kurt, did you get that? Wait, we'll have your recording after the session.
The great thing is that it's recorded, so yeah.
Yeah.
We've got it on record now.
The
So
thing is,
it's-
is it metagaming to read a spell and understand that you shouldn't attack something?
all right.
No.
So two
Oh,
things.
not attacking part. I don't think so. If you see an enemy freeze, I would, yeah. Although it could be that you're taking advantage of it being.
Yeah, that's what I.
frozen?
That's if I were to justify it, which is this isn't what I was thinking in the moment, but that'd be how I'd do it.
But then again, it might have just like put you in a shock, seeing your best, bringing back the memory of your best friend being frozen as as a statue.
No, I'm not that cut up about it.
So y'all, I just realized something that I messed up about my character sheet evolving. Ever since I got the war pick, I forgot to add the damage from the Oathbreaker aura the whole time.
How much extra damage was it?
4 per attack.
God damn.
What does that mean?
So what I'm hearing is that I'm at 14 HP because you forgot to add that, and it's all your fault.
It's all your fault.
Wait, does that mean,
We're really
like,
bagging
all
on
of
each
us
other,
were
so-
supposed to
Well, I
use
forgot
one?
for all my attacks. I forgot in general.
Right, so basically, the Oathbreaker for you was a straight
Well, like, yeah, because I completely forgot to put it onto my damage rolls, so it never applied.
knife. Your damage rolls and everyone else's.
Nope. The Oathbreaker's aura only affects themselves, undead, and fiends.
That is the
Oh
strangest
my
thing.
god, she should have killed me.
Why?
She's a fiend. My aura should have helped her.
What?
So her attacks would have done additional damage?
Every attack she dealt, she should have dealt 20 more damage to me.
So you should be unconscious.
All right, guys.
At the first.
Come on, Roland. All right, let's go back.
Okay, yeah, let's roll it all back.
Rewind.
Rewind.
Roll back, Roland.
The Coldy Boy thing though had it, so I wasn't completely stupid. I put it on one thing, just not anything else.
I mean, actually, I think it's kind of fair then if you didn't take it for the most part, and
I
so you
didn't-
didn't do extra damage, she didn't do extra damage.
It would have helped
Evens
her
out.
if it pulled out more than him. but-
It would have, but
Yeah, I don't know. All the other times where we just
It's
fought like
slightly more
random
even.
guys would have helped to like do, 4 more damage, 8 more damage.
yeah, I'm trying to make you feel better about it, dude.
Oh well, at least I have the green aura back. Half
is
damage
nice.
on spells. For everyone.
All right. So, we back, ready to go.
No. That's 'cause I'm
Still
scared.
waiting on Sasha.
So, we missed you, Sasha.
We do.
As always. Come back to us,
Is
please.
there another thing you go break girls moving? I probably should have read that more.
You just pick it like, yeah, I'll figure it out later.
Well, it was mostly for roleplay because it was cool. So I wasn't paying enough attention to it.
It's not that so, but basically, I
Oh, yeah.
didn't pick the Oathbreaker. The Oathbreaker picked me.
Yeah.
The Channel Divinity Fear thing, I used it once and forgot about it.
Worth it.
I'm the worst paladin ever.
Yeah.
God.
See.
I didn't want to say it.
But you're a great T-Rex.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Give me a second.
You made for a great Power Ranger.
Isn't there literally a Power Ranger series that's dinosaur?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
All of them are ridiculous.
You
but
were a
that one
great
always
Zord.
struck me as extra.
Hmm.
Wait, no. What was the green dinosaur one? Was
I didn't really watch Power Rangers.
I watched too much Power
You're not
Rangers.
glad you ever knew them.
No,
Explore
I
one time.
knew of them by colors, and that was it.
Dun, 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 dun,
So I don't feel like we
dun,
had the
dun.
dinosaur one.
It was
I
a
just know
raptor.
about it from memes afterwards.
Interesting. Okay.
By the way, Brad, you can stop having a go at me and telling me to cast more sorcerer spells. Thanks. It happened.
It's
You can
true.
go happy now.
Well,
I'm
no,
glad we're on the same page.
because I wanted something crazy to happen. That wasn't crazy
know
enough
you
for
did.
me.
But it happened.
Well, really, honestly, I have a problem with the wild magic tables, but it's just, things don't happen.
There's I did the math before. It's like 50% of the outcomes are neutral, 25% are bad, 25% are good, but none of them are swingy enough to actually feel like you're having an influence on a fight, whether it be positive or negative.
Yeah.
I'm not there for that. I'm just there to burp bubbles.
It has a great like flavor to it, but it just doesn't
yeah,
happen.
no.
I've been trying to
played
get
a 9th level wild sorcerer before. I named him Fontaine because I thought it was funny, and he turned himself to a potted plant and just sat there the entire encounter because no one hit him.
Yeah, that's the thing with the wild magic tables. They're not even that fun. They don't add fun to the game. They just
I like
exist.
it.
Oh, it's fun.
It's
But,
I think it's fun.
Like
fun.
it.
Some people use homebrew tables.
So, but it just doesn't happen. Like you're waiting to roll a 1. Like what are the
I
chances?
ended up having to talk with my DM to change the rules on it. It basically just said, yeah, anytime you want to use the Tides of Chaos, just he made it so it guaranteed a roll after that.
Oh.
Since so many of them don't actually do anything, and they have just as much, and we were 9th level, so like it didn't matter if
So every time you use Tides of Chaos, you rolled on the table.
you rolled on it and it reset Tides of Chaos, so you were in control of when it would happen, and then passively it would also keep like you'd still roll the 1, but he rolled it like he rolled the d20 every spell cast, so that I'd still have that whole like you don't know if it's gonna happen or not.
Yeah, and they kind of leave it open to interpretation. Like if you want, every time you use a sorcerer spell, you can roll. So that's what we were doing with her, with Elizabeth. Every time, so she could use Tides of Chaos as many times as you want, as opposed to once a short or long rest or whatever it is.
Yeah,
but every time you used
it
it,
is what happens.
yeah, every time she used it, she would roll.
Yeah. And
So I think you have to
okay.
modify it.
You have to, because otherwise you don't get to use the defining characteristic because the class is balanced around you actually rolling.
Yeah.
But since only 25% of the outcomes are positive, that means that you're taking a roleplay feature and you're balancing a class around it. So you're taking a ribbon effect and making a class's fun like lean on that.
But the problem
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
part is, like, I'm fine with. I can understand that some people like it, but like it just doesn't happen really often enough.
Yeah, you have to tweak it.
Yeah.
Positive and negative.
Yeah. Yeah, if it happens more, it's fun. If it doesn't, you get turned to a potted plant, and then the only encounter of the entire day that's combat, you're sitting there as a potted plant.
Yeah, that's the worst part because some of the effects are fun, okay. Some of them are weird, and I don't really get why they would waste a very limited amount of table real estate to them. Like I don't know which one was the beard feather.
Someone homebrewed one that was you roll a D1000.
Yeah.
I've seen you roll a D10,000.
Yeah, there's really big ones, and I think those are a little like excessive. But other
I
crazy
think
story of
it's
mine
wrong.
was the time because the DM said like if you were this high level of a chaos sorcerer, you would kind of have an idea of what this feeling you have from your power is from the roll effect. So anytime he got reincarnate, he immediately just tried to get as suicidal as possible, and just see how he rolled. And that's when I found out the DM was going to make me roll for gender as well.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that
Hat
a
orc.
possible solution would be to take that D1000 whatever table and just whenever you actually just make it a D100 table. Like whenever you roll an outcome, that outcome goes away and you replace it with another one from the 2000 table.
Oh, that'd be quite interesting.
That way
Anyway.
it's fresh, but you don't have to roll a D1000.
So,
What the hell's going on in the Discord?
Yeah, just don't question it.
Okay.
what happened? I'm not even looking.
This last one's actually pretty good.
Oh, I posted that earlier.
Oh my gosh.
Why?
This is unsettling.
I saved it as foot-long doggy.
Oh my word.
I guess that's what they mean by trunks.
Ho! Oh, you had to shoot that one in there, huh? All right.
Ah.
Ooh.
Does that mean
come
the
on,
chips
Brad,
now
don't
taste like
step
toes,
on
or the toes taste like?
All right. So, back at it.
Okay,
Reeling it
Brad,
back in.
you know,
Reeling it
put
back
your
in.
foot down.
Oh! I like it. I like it. So, you guys are plummeting through reality itself. And then as suddenly as it started, you're back in the forest. Next to the tree. However, a few things have changed. First off, as you look around, you notice that it's nighttime. The tree, you don't see the rays of sunlight filtering through. But you can see the light of a full moon through the branches of the trees. You see that fungus and moss, bioluminescent fungus and moss, is sprouted on the tree, and it glows with a bluish hue. There's bioluminescent pollen floating through the air like flecks of light all around you. But the main thing that you notice that is different is you're not alone. There are a lot of Fae-type creatures around you. And they seem to be in a state of revelry. Okay, you see fauns, dryads, fairies, all around you. Will-o-wisps floating around, doing their thing.
Now, what do you mean exactly by state of revelry? Because fauns and dryads, historically,
Jeez.
mythologically, they have a specific conception of revelry.
Yeah, we're not talking.
This is not an orgy.
Yeah, we're not. This isn't NC-17, guys. Yeah, no. You see centaurs standing off in one area, herded up, drinking mead, sharing war stories. There's dancing, frolicking about, all that kind of stuff is going on. And towards the base of the tree, you see the very large centaur that you saw earlier. It's kind of presiding over it all. In silently watching everything. Maliki she looks around and says, well, I think it's time for me to go. Enjoy yourselves. And she looks at you, Elisabetta, for a moment. Be careful. And with that, she's gone. Give me... This music is not like...
Spooky.
Yeah, it's spooky, and it's not doing the right things for me here. Give me a second.
Where's the inside the tavern Skyrim music?
Where's the Will-o-wisp disco party music?
Give me a second. We had this really long break and stuff, and I don't, there's really no reason why I should have found music while we were doing that. To be honest.
No, you were distracted by talk of wild sorcery magic tables and other such distractions. It's okay.
They're very distracting.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
What's happening? I'm fucking bricking it. Just so you all know.
What's up?
You're what?
bricking it. That's a phrase that we use when it's a more polite way of saying you're shitting yourself
Oh.
in fear. Not that I'm gonna make a run for it.
All right.
That'd be very anticlimactic.
Elizabeth runs away, and Brad puts on the like yakety sax song, like nah, 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 nah.
Just like if a kid gets in trouble and they don't want to face consequences, so they just run away.
Exactly.
Parents like, come back, and they're like, no, you'll yell at me.
I can exactly visualize it.
What is happening? Oh my god.
Oh, I hate that gif. Oh,
Oh god.
I thought it went into his finger. Not his head.
He's so chill.
Hold on.
That's called drunk.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's a great one. I love that so much.
What else is we say?
Or he's like just tough as nails. I don't know.
What is this?
Crying.
All right.
Okay, I'm not so scared anymore.
All right, we're gonna just leave it be because I can't find something that's working for me. So
Yeah, sticking with.
I'm trying to imagine Sasha like going through the Discord and being like, "What?"
I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised if she's given up at this point and doesn't
Yeah.
really go back. We do not blame you. There is a lot of random stuff going on.
I guess it throws.
I'm
her
cleaning
off.
them up after I put them on for you guys.
No, you should keep the cat one on it. It makes me
hold
smile.
on.
I'm surprised that Brad didn't make a comment about the one about Ray.
Which one? That one's not loading. Oh, I know. The police one.
Which one?
What is that?
Hold on.
It runs.
Which one?
That looks like
It
a
runs past it.
Mouse.
The mouse. That's a big mouse.
Brad.
That is not
That's a rat. I think.
now. Rat.
That's a rat. No, they're different.
Some sort of vermin.
Hold on.
Rats apparently make good pets. Mice do not.
Really?
I want.
They're very affectionate.
Rats
They are
are?
not really
Mostly.
smart. Yeah.
They bond with their owners quite well.
My buddy had a rat named Alice, and I'd go over to her house just to see the rat.
I'm not here for you.
Yeah, well, I can't. My friends do that with my cat, so only fair.
Give me 1 second.
You've had like
I've had a lot of
100
seconds.
seconds at this point.
Don't be mad. I'm trying to find good music. Ugh. Alright. Nothing's working. Alright. Just use your imaginations, fellas. So anyways,
Okay.
Can you back a bit and describe what's going on? I kind of lost track of it.
yeah, sorry. So, all around you, you have dryads, centaurs, fairies, will-o-wisps, all sorts of fae-type creatures engaging in revelry. Off to one side, you see that there are centaurs engaging in arm wrestling contests. They're sharing war stories, drinking mead. In one area, you have a band that's playing, that's being... the instruments are being played by fairies themselves that are much too small for the instruments they're playing, but they're just whizzing around so quickly upon the instruments that they're able to play them. Basically, what's happening here, it's almost like a fae court is being held in the Forgotten Realms on a full moon night, and presiding over it all is that very large centaur who was around speaking with Maliki when you first arrived in the forest. And as you're standing there, So as you're standing there, a fairy comes up and whizzes up, and behind him, kind of ambling slower behind him, is an anteater who kind of ambles up, and he has like a tray of cups on his back, and the fairy kind of alights on top of the head of the anteater and says, "Well, welcome back. It seems as though you found us in a bit of a reverie. Please, have a drink, if you will."
I'm just gonna look at the
I like
others.
guys.
Brad, are there stories in this world too about accepting food from the Fae? Sort of thing?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually.
Janrik doesn't care.
But folk tales say anything about? Wait, maybe my folk tales are a bit different.
I
Perhaps.
I'm doing a check to see if
Perhaps. But you might be testing my own knowledge on that.
there's a folktale that if you eat the food of the fairies, you don't get to leave.
It's something along those lines. It's basically eating the food of the fairies is bad news, but that specific one is more
And you
about
also-
eating food and the creek underworld.
Actually, yeah, it's not even that you don't get to leave; it's that you don't want to.
Yeah.
Well, why would you?
Yeah,
So
you just
wonder-
forget that you have a family. You forget that there's a world outside of where the fairies are, and you just spend your time there until you die.
Yeah, it's just,
Trippy.
Well, you don't know, I suppose.
True.
well, just in case.
I have to put my
Like,
fairy tale studies aside. I'm gonna take one, but I'm not gonna drink out of it. But I wanna. What is
There
it?
you go. There's some
And is
music.
it poisoned?
Shia will take one as well and do a similar sniff smell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not that you can really smell poison, but what is it?
Go ahead and do an investigation check.
Oh, so good at those. Can I just help Shia?
Sure.
It's not gonna be great.
Better than me, maybe.
I'm wondering if Janrik might have known stories about that. Well,
Okay, you didn't need me.
Yeah, it doesn't appear to be. As you look at it and you peer in, it looks to be like some kind of mead. You smell it. It seems to be some kind of highly alcoholic brew made from honey. But you don't notice any strange notes that would indicate any poison or anything like that.
and again, it wouldn't be normal poison, probably.
Perhaps.
You didn't know.
The fairy kind of looks at you guys as you're kind of peering at your glasses or your mugs and, "Oh, go on! No trickery about it! Eat! Drink! Be merry!" And he looks at you, Elizabeth, and says, "Especially you. Go on."
Fine. Take a sip.
And as you kind of look around, you notice that there are just kind of animals walking around with these trays on their back with like delicious spreads of food, more meat or ale that's just kind of like available and out there. As you take a sip, Elizabeth, it's just this very sweet, strong alcoholic drink that tastes of berries and honey. It's delightful.
Oh, that's actually quite nice. I'll let you guys know if I get poisoned.
Well,
It's okay if you do. I'll just pat you on the back and lay a hand it off.
That would be nice.
Haha, be merry! Woo! So the fairy kind of has his own cup on the tray. It's the same size as yours, and instead of holding it, he kind of sits on the rim and will like lean in and drink. And eventually the anteater just kind of ambles off into some other direction and kind of leaves you to your own devices. And as you look around, you notice that there's an assortment of things going on. The centaurs are over there engaging in arm wrestling. There's some fawns that are over there engaging in an archery contest of sorts. And then everyone's dancing and there's a big like dancing area in the middle where everyone's just kind of dancing and frolicking and enjoying the music.
As a player, I love this. As a character, I have no idea what to do.
As a character, I'm not touching any of the drink, and I'm just kind of standing there and looking at the other people. Do you wish to stay?
Do we have a choice?
Well, I would hate to insult our host's hospitality. I would truly not rather be anywhere but here.
I think I at least have to go talk to him.
Go ahead.
You say that like it's that easy. It's not.
It really is.
It's really not.
Simply speaking to him is not the dangerous part. It is what comes after. Now,
Okay, that's true.
Now, I would advise you to grab your courage and do what must be done. You will have to confront him soon enough. Now is as good a time as any, as he seems to be at least in a good enough mood to wait for him.
Does anybody want to dance or enjoy themselves before we dive headfirst into whatever happens?
Janner's definitely going through his mind, thinking for the best bardic the song that he can think of to add to the mix.
Of course it is.
I think Mr. Janrik is one step ahead of you, Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm. What does Scarlet look like he's doing? Is he just sat there chilling, or is he sat there occasionally staring at me?
So if you look over at him and his gaze is, he's basically laying down as centaurs do, kind of leaning up against the tree itself. There's like a conglomeration of roots that have kind of formed into not really a throne, but a place where he can lay down. And he's leaning up one arm on a large root. In one hand, he has a giant ale horn, and he's slowly sipping it, his gaze sweeping back and forth across the revelry. And as he does so, his gaze alights upon you for a second. He takes a drink, and then he moves on.
Okay. Anybody else got any opinions on what we should do?
So as you're talking, a couple of fawns and a dryad come over to the group, and they're just swirling and dancing around. And one of them grabs your hand, Janrik, as you seem to be putting off a bit of a vibe, and they start pulling you towards kind of where everyone else is dancing.
Janrik's all in.
All right. So Janrik
Taking
kind of
my cup, one last pull off of it, and tossing it over my shoulder, and off I go.
okay. Off you go, and you get kind of swept up in the dancing, and you go ahead and join them, weaving in and out with the other fey creatures as they laugh gleefully, kind of swept up into their frivolity.
We've lost him. Say goodbye.
Yeah. This festivity is pretty great, but I've already had my share of fun day because I got to be a dinosaur. So.
And I, for my part,
Oh, and I saved my mom, but priorities.
Yeah, Thomas for his part is kind of walking over to be alone towards the in one of the very few spots of the forest where you can sit and kind of chill out.
That limerick is kind of genius. If disgusting. I'm proud of you, Kurt.
Thank you.
Damn.
You should be proud of Google.
Oh, I
magical.
thought you made
It's
it.
magical.
Oh my god. Alright.
It's the vibe we're going for.
It's he was putting out a vibe, guys. They could feel it.
Well, I suppose we could toast to the good health of your friend as he lounges against that giant tree root over there.
Yep. That sounds like as good a thing to do at this time as anything else, to be honest. I sort of look over at him and just sort of raise my glass.
Okay. He just drinks, takes a drink of his own, but he doesn't raise his glass back. Just looks at you.
Is that rude? I feel like that's rude.
Continues watching the festivities.
Okay, I'm gonna stop wasting time. Since we've lost the other person who could sweet talk his way out of anything, does anyone feel like coming with me?
I shall come. I may not be able to sweet talk my way out of anything, but my sword might certainly come.
I'll go with you, Elizabeth.
I'd go along just to make sure you're not getting into too much.
Yeah, I think it's a bit too late for getting into trouble.
We crossed one thing off the list, so like we just don't need to add another one.
Note to self, don't add more. I'm gonna walk over.
Okay. So go to the private channel real quick.
Oh god.
All of us that are going.
Cut!
No, not yet. No. Just Elizabeth. This won't be long, guys. This won't be long.
Okay.
Just give me a sec. Alright, give me a sec.
Gotta find the seashell.
Alright.
Before we actually get over there, I'm gonna cast message to Janrik and just tell him to get his butt over here once he's done dancing.
Okay. So
I'll tell him that.
the revelry is going on around you. As you and your group start moving towards Scarrett, weaving in and out of dancers, your eyes kind of locked on his, moving towards him. and you hear in your voice, "Child, this is it. This is it. Don't hesitate when the time comes."
I'm not going to respond with anything.
"You will know when the time is. I will tell you when to strike. Strike true and hard. Then we will be powerful, you and I. We will be free of him. He is the deceiver. He will betray you and destroy you and use you and leave you a broken, dry husk. And you will be unable to help your brother. Do not hesitate. Wait for my command." So you're hearing that as you're walking over. All right, you can go ahead and switch.
Okay.
Okay. Janrik, as you're kind of dancing around with these creatures, having a good time, you hear a voice in your head. It's Elizabeth's voice, and it says,
Hey, once you're done dancing, get your butt over here.
And I proceed to keep dancing, but dance my way over that way.
okay. So you guys,
Imagine you just doing the Cabbage Patch. As you come out the circle.
the sprinkler.
Wow. Classic.
So you you guys start weaving your way through the dancers, closer and closer to Scarrett. As you approach, he looks at you all. He doesn't seem too threatened or bothered. He puts his ale horn down as you approach. Though, as you do approach, two centaurs that are kind of hiding in the shadows kind of move up on either side of him. They're definitely not as large as him. They'd be medium-sized creatures, and he would be considered like a large-sized creature. He's very imposing. Large, muscular horse and person. His features are very angular and sharp, like most fey creatures. But as you move closer, you can see that he has numerous scars all over his body from wounds. And lying next to him against the tree is a huge glaive. As you are moving up to him, the music seems to dim. And the forest around you grows quiet. The dancing stops. The music stops playing. And the forest itself are the only noises that you can hear. Give me 1 second.
Shit, I thought you were actually doing the dimming down thing. I was
Yeah. That's
Oh,
what
dude,
I said.
that's what I was trying. I was like, dude, I gotta stop it right now. Pause.
There's just
It-
this one little fairy guy who has completely missed the situation.
Still going.
Yeah.
Harder in his life.
Elbows him in.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's good. Hold on, give me 1 second. As usual. And
I'm definitely putting a hand on my weapon at this point. I'm getting ready to, cause some trouble. Oh, be right back, guys.
can you guys hear music at all?
Mm-mm.
The
I always
tension.
hear music, Brad. Music never stops.
It's always playing.
Did you touch the orb?
Come
I
on.
feel like you touched the orb. That would be the most annoying thing to have happen though, is just you just hear music quietly in the background for the rest of your life. That would cause madness.
Ugh. Hmm.
That's an original one.
Oh. Yeah, mine was also original.
Just thought that one up.
You guys are putting me as an English student to shame.
Oh.
I've been wrecked.
I don't know why it's not playing music anymore.
Of course, you know,
Fine, it's complete.
that one was a
silence.
little modern.
I'm back, you guys. Did I miss anything?
No.
More
Hey,
like-
I'm trying to play this music and it's not working. Fix it for me.
Okay, cool.
Command B.
So, I see what's going on. You want to press skip.
Skip.
But since it's me, it wants to do a vote. But yeah, here you go, and now play.
So it just keeps.
You just need to play, not like put the name of the URL or anything. Just unpause it or resume. I guess.
Who hasn't got the bot spam?
There we
music?
go. Got
Right,
it.
Is that you?
Got it. Alright, there we go. So as you move up towards him, the forest grows quiet. The music stops. It kind of slowly fades out as everyone starts focusing. All creatures present, animal, fae, and human, start focusing their attention on what's going on up front, as if they expected it, and now are watching with bated breath. As you walk up to scare it, he stands up, puts his cup, his mug on the ground, and stands up to his full height. He addresses you, Elizabeta. So you have not run.
I'm here, aren't I?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that suggests that I haven't run anywhere. It's been a long time coming. I'm not about to flee.
Oh. When last we met, that's exactly what you did.
I know.
He
What has
peers.
gone on since then?
He peers over your shoulder. I see you still have it. That is good.
I guess you still want it back.
I do.
I think I'd like a little bit more of an explanation as to what it is, why I have it, and why you want it back.
Why do you think that I owe you an explanation?
I suppose you don't.
I gave you that blade.
I know you did. Most of the time when someone gives a gift, they don't try and take it back later. And if you thought that I could handle it, and you thought that I needed it, kind of... I'm going to say shitty of you to give me something and then want it back, or if I can't handle it and it's dangerous, Why give it to me in the first place?
I gave it to you as a test. Both of you and of the blade itself. But I suppose an explanation isn't unwarranted. He reaches down and grabs his cup, takes a long draught. Many years ago, I had a friend. His name was Elrokul. An elf of considerable magical prowess. He was the best of friends to me. And we lived generations together. We shared battle, merriment, friendship. But there was always a part of him that was jealous of me. You see, I brought him into my court. And he grew powerful every day. But he would never be as powerful as me. He would never live as long as I, though he did have a long life. And I noticed the change in him over time. He grew bitter, and his jealousy took over. Once we would spend time soaring through the skies together. But that ended. His jealousy, it took over. And what was once a deep friendship grew into a bitter struggle. And as he's speaking, he comes down away from the tree and starts kind of walking around, and the Zentaur guards around him begin to follow with him, but he holds up a hand and kind of waves them off. And he stretches out a hand, and as he's speaking the story, he casts an illusory spell out upon the grass before you. And starts playing what he's saying. Begins to kind of play out before you, visually. You see a beautiful elven male and a younger version, though it's almost imperceptible, soaring through the sky on eagles and running through forests, and eventually, though the tone of the illusion becomes very somber, and at this point Scarrett says, Elrokul was seduced, lured into the Shadowfell, where powers greater than his and mine promised him eternal life, power equal and greater to mine. And this, for ages, is what he has wanted, or had wanted. He betrayed me, left friendship, for power, for greed. And from that time on, we fought each other in war after war, battle after battle. And he grew more powerful every time I encountered him. It came to a head at one point when we made an incursion into the Shadowfell. We met in battle, and I just barely defeated him. And with the last of my strength, I couldn't kill him. I wouldn't. After all of his betrayal and wounds, I still loved him. He was my greatest friend, and I felt for sure that I could redeem him one day. So instead of ending his life, I used what magic I had left to transform him into the blade that you now hold. The blade that you carry. I brought the blade back to my court, and have watched it ever since. I expected something, but it seemed for generations that it was just a blade, that he had died in the transformation, his soul passing on. I could neither feel him, hear him, or experience him whatsoever. So, in his memory, when you were seeking aid from the spirits, so to speak, on your wedding night, walking through the forest, I saw an opportunity. Elrokiel loved the forest, he loved to travel. He loved to explore the world and experience its beauty, at least before he changed. I saw an opportunity to do two things. One, let him have that by traveling with you, as I knew you would leave. And second, perhaps he was still in there, and releasing him from my sphere of influence would awaken him, which it seems to have done. Isn't that true? He speaks to you.
I nod.
And what things does he say?
Tells me that he needs more power. Tells me that he will help me get my brother back if I can make him more powerful. He seems greedy.
Yes. He wasn't always like that. He will corrupt you if you keep it. If you siphon his power, if you listen to his words, they will poison your mind. That is why I brought you to my court before, to try to take the blade. And so as he's saying this, he's walking, he's standing next to you. The illusion fades, and he turns to walk back to the tree. He's about 5 feet from you, and he turns his back to you. As this happens, you feel all of you hear this voice ring out across the wood. No! Do it now!
I'm gonna take out the sword
Okay.
with a bit of a flourish.
Okay.
look at it for a moment,
Centaurs are like running towards you.
and I'm gonna stab it into the ground beside him.
So Scarrett stops. He turns. And he looks at you over his shoulder. And his body turns and he turns towards you and looks at you. He holds up his hands. The centaurs stop. He reaches down and grabs the blade. No! No, you fool! What have you done?
I'm tired of people deciding what I should be doing. Tired of people telling me what I am and what I amount to. And that means you as well. I've decided for myself.
He takes the sword out of the ground. Looks at it. And then he runs his hand from pommel to tip, and as he runs his hand along the blade, it disappears from this plane of existence. And it's gone. As he does that, you feel this link that you've had to this blade since you've had it cut off and shatter. You feel that the ability to use magic connected that you've associated with that blade. You feel it like leave your body. This power you've come to rely on. Scared looks at you. There's magic within you, child. There's a spark that you were born with. Don't fret. He walks back to the tree, and he places his hand upon the trunk of the tree. And as he does so, the tree starts to form and split and like open up. And from inside of that tree, you see like a green glow. He reaches in and pulls out the emerald acorn necklace that he had given you the first time you were there, and the tree closes. He walks back to you, places it over your head. To give up that power is extraordinary.
It was just something being held over my head. Another person I had to answer to.
We all have to answer to someone. Even I. Would you answer to me?
I think I'm done making deals for now. Maybe I'll come and find you when I feel ready to.
I would not hold it over your head like El Rocule. You will need the power coming ahead. This isn't over. If you choose to bond yourself to me, return to the forest, I will find you here.
I know.
And with that, he walks back and lays back down against the tree. You and your friends are free to leave. Or you can stay. This night of revelry will continue. But we will be gone in the morning. And the hush over the crowd kind of starts. There's a din of voices, and eventually it kind of rises. The music starts playing again, and people start dancing and drinking and having fun once more.
Okay, I'm gonna turn away and just walk away from the middle of things.
Okay. What are you guys doing?
Well, at this point, we've pretty much gotten the guarantee from him that, we're gonna be safe at this party. So I'll still not drink, but I'll kind of like set my sword aside and lean against the tree. That's it.
I'm gonna take
Also-
out my lyre.
Also, I guess I'll be making limericks if Jen returns.
I've been seeing those so many.
I gotta say, at first they were all in good sport, and they were just generally about no one in targeting them, and then you started targeting Janric. So
Stench, good one called Septic.
Oh, you guys.
He's quite old, and truth be told, he was not, but full dark. All right, so you take out your lyre. Are you gonna like join in with the band? Are you walking around playing? You're just kind of playing softly to yourself, or
No, I'm gonna join the festivities.
okay. So you walk over with the band and stand next to the fairies who are furiously playing their instruments again, and you join in. Go ahead and do a performance check for me.
Hoo boy. Let's hope this is garbage, because that's way funnier than it being good.
Again,
Oh man. So you
Damn it!
instead of what you want. So you start plucking away at your strings, starting slow at first, playing a fairly complicated tune you learned from your youth, and you start playing it faster, then faster, then faster, and louder, and eventually the fairies kind of pick up your tune and start playing along with you, but eventually they cut the music completely and allow you just to play, and you're just shredding. You got a sweet solo going on, you just shred, and then they join in, and the entire crowd just cheers. Fawns are doing backflips, and everyone's just having an amazing time. You're the life of the party at this point in time.
yeah.
The fun of a charisma player.
You're having a great day. You turned into a T-Rex. You played Wonderwall at a party.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Saved my mom's soul, helped redeem my Oathbreaker father, stopped being an Oathbreaker myself. Pretty great day.
All right, what's everyone else doing?
Shaya's
I
gonna-
was kidding about making limericks, but some of them are kind of a bit mean in spirits, and Tosin probably wouldn't too. Just wanted to put that out there.
They're all pretty good though.
I
This
wanna
is not a they are a thing. English.
I wanna test something.
Okay.
I just wanna see if I can still I understand I felt that tether to him disconnect, but I wanna see if I can still cast let's say create bonfire. Which
Nope, you're just a level 1 sorcerer now.
level 2. No, but create bonfire was one of my sorcerer cantrips.
So you kind of reach out your hand, you focus on a point within 5 feet of you, and you feel an outpouring of magic come out of you in a way that you recognize as so you've had this magic now for a little bit, 2 threads, one coming from the blade and one that you found through use of that magic. You found a small spark inside of you that seemed to have come from a different source. You reach in, you're able to touch that spark and create a bonfire in front of you.
I'm gonna find Chaya
Okay.
since she's wise. It's a bit dramatic. I was wondering if you had any thought as to what I should do.
I'm not sure, but I'm proud of you.
Thank you. It's it was a bit maddening having that voice in my head telling me what I needed to do and who I needed to be. And I'm glad it's gone. Just don't know if it's a good idea to make any more deals, but I'm not strong enough to help you all. Not on my own. How do you deal with answering to a higher power? How do you know that you're doing it for the right reasons?
I suppose I don't know. I thought I was going to pass over at one point to be among the dead, and that didn't happen. I figured I must still have the breath of life for a reason. So if I'm still alive, perhaps it's to serve those who guard the barrier between our world and the next. I don't know if that's wise or rash or just being melodramatic. It has helped me find purpose. Helped me justify why perhaps I'm still alive.
You'll have to tell us that story one day. When you're ready to.
And likewise, you'll have to share yours. It seems you didn't got this power, this deal for no reason.
No, it seems so far away now. I'll tell you guys one day. But at least, if I were to be entering into a deal with him, I would know what I'd know I was doing it. I didn't know when I took that sword I was making a deal with it. You wouldn't judge me if I took his offer, would you?
I'll say this. Anything he can offer you, he'd be getting the better bargain. I think you're stronger than you realize. Stronger than any of us realize. So, if he offers anything that could be helpful to you, he'd still be getting the better deal because he'd have you at small.
I'll think about it.
Sure.
Want to go get some food?
Yes, but I have to be light with the drinks. It doesn't take much for me to. But food sounds nice.
Okay. We go and get food.
Okay. Alright, yeah, you're able to walk around and find,
Find random anteaters and things with food.
yes,
in the back.
yes, creatures. Indeed.
I had no idea play music like that.
No, I know. I didn't know we could play anything. I'm just gonna listen to him play while he's treading and being the favourite party guest.
If you're considering who the rest of us are, I'd say it doesn't take much to be the favorite party guest of her.
So, let's see here. So yeah, Elizabeth, you're able to find food, food and drink. It's in, it is in plentiful supply. So, and you guys rejoin the party, rejoin the festival.
I might even partake in a bit of dancing.
Hmm.
Do like one of those stereotypical Russian dances that's a lot of stomping and kicking.
Tozen, as you're just kind of like standing off to the side, watching things, a centaur kind of sidles up to you and looks at your arms. You half-orcs think you're awful strong. Care to test your strength?
My strength, friends, has already been tested. But if you feel you wish to test yours against mine, I should be happy to oblige.
Ha ha ha! Of course. Come! Hold on. And he reaches over and grabs a mug and like sticks it in your hand. Over here, half-orc. Let's go. And he walks over to some of his other mates who are over engaging in similar feats of strength, tests of strength. There's like a large stump over there, and he like slams his mug of ale down on one side and puts his arm up on the other, and kind of uses his fingers to give you like the come over here and let's do this kind of thing.
I sit down in front of him, put my arm in the man, you were the one who asked for this.
Alright, hold on.
Do the rest of us get to see this, or are we too busy eating and dancing?
Yeah, sure.
I'll dance, but I just want to keep looking over and seeing what's happening.
Ooh, they're pretty strong. Alright. +4.
Oh, I'm pretty strong.
Alright, so we're gonna do strength, straight strength. Alright?
Straight strength, not athletics ready.
No, just strength, and he'll do the same.
Ah, damn it. Okay.
What's your strength modifier?
+5.
Okay. Hold on. Where's the dice guy? There it is.
I'm ready to roll on your mark.
All right, so you walk up to the branch, put your mug down. I don't know if you're drinking any out of it, but
No, absolutely not.
you lock hands with him. He reaches over and grabs his, grabs a big drink, plops it back down. You say when, half orc?
It is only good manners, my friend, to let the host have his say. To begin.
I like you. All right, go. And he, you feel his muscles tense up. You tense up at the same time. Your forearms just go rock hard immediately. You guys start trying to bend each other's wrists over the top, so to speak. So he, I'm gonna have you do a strength. So you did a 10. Let's see what he gets.
Which is disappointing since obviously I am proficient in athletics. But oh well. If it is.
So you beat him. So you kind of pour on the strength, and his hand moves closer to the other side. But you don't plunk it down just yet. But you definitely like push it closer to his side. Go ahead and do another strength check.
Oh,
Oh no,
my god.
a double one. That's kind of par for the course for you guys. But he barely beats you. So, not yet, half orc. And he pushes you, so you're back up even at the top. Go ahead and do it again. So as this is happening, kind of a crowd has formed. It's not just the centaurs around you now, but some of the other more delicate fey creatures are kind of standing by, cheering on their buddy.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like clearly restrained, but laughing along and having a good time.
So you tense up and push his hand a little bit closer to his side. One more. So I got an 18. Back again. He pours on the strength. You're back straight up and down once more. The crowd's roaring now and getting larger. Any one of you guys that hasn't noticed that this was going on at this point in time and now kind of looks over to the loud, raucous roaring and cheering going over by the stump, and you can see Tozen locked in this test of strength. All right, do it again.
Question.
Yeah.
One use of fighting spirit left. Normally it's used to get advantage on attacks.
Do it.
Give me any sort of help.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
with
Absolutely.
advantage, I say, and I will kind of like chuckle and say to him, it has been a while since I've had such a good contest. Let me give it my all. I will use fighting spirits and therefore get advantage to jump a second. And good thing I did.
Okay. Okay. So, all right, he's gonna do it again, and he rolls a 17. Yikes! So he kind of pushes you over the top a little bit, one step closer to your thing.
Ha! Eat that.
It's not possible.
I know.
But
Wow. And I miss having advantage.
All right, so you push it.
oof.
You pour it on. You're back up top. Roland, you kind of are checking out what's going on, and you kind of change your song up a little bit to kind of match the type of activity that was going on. The crowd just gets more raucous and starts. It's just out of control almost. All right, one more.
Oof. Oh,
Ooh, just barely pushes you a little bit closer to your side. One more. Oh no!
Well, alright. Let's do
Oh! So, again, you push it straight up top. You're even. Just your guys' muscles are straining. Biceps, shoulders, forearms, just rock hard. You push him a little bit closer to his side. And with a roar, you slam his fist down onto the top of the stump. Everyone cheers.
take his hand back up and I like do that, manly clasp handshake thing where you clasp the forearm.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And with that, he lifts. After you do that, he lifts your arm up and points to you and gives a big cheer, grabs his mug and tosses it back. And after that, everyone kind of filters back to their whatever they were doing, to dancing or playing music or whatever. All right.
It was a fun contest.
Indeed. Half orc. Well played.
Please, my name is Tuzik, my friends.
I'm Shalon. And friend of mine you are. Ha ha! Tozan! To Tozan! Everyone, to Tozan! Everyone lifts their drinks and tosses them back, and I'm gonna have to go ice the shoulder. And he kind of like grabs his cup and ambles off.
Yeah, I'm probably actually gonna have to do that as well because Tozan is pretty burly, but he's also pretty out of shape. He's kind of old, so.
He's got that old man
Has a
strength.
little strain. Yeah. That did put like a little strain on the lumbago. Yeah, so at this point I will give in and start drinking a bit.
All
Not
right.
too much, but to be sociable.
Alright, what's everyone else doing? Dancing, merriment. Elizabeta, what are you up to?
I'm gonna go ask a fairy if all the folk tales I know about are true. I'm just gonna talk to the fairies and be like, so is that true that you guys... Yeah, I'm just gonna be doing that kind of thing, but I don't want to make a decision yet
Okay.
because I'm indecisive and so is my character.
Okay. Hold on a second. Alright. Well, so you guys spend the rest of the night dancing, playing music, making friends, doing some drinking, some a little bit lighter, probably some a little bit on the heavier side. Janric.
He's used to handling heavy loads.
For sure.
It's hard
Um,
to tell when Janric's drunk because there's no real difference.
There's no difference. So, actually, as you guys are just kind of enjoying the party, you'll catch glimpses of Janric as he's like in and out of the dance floor, out to an anteater or some creature grabbing a drink, pounding it, throwing his mug out, and hopping back in. But every time you seem to see him re-emerge from this clash of dancing, he seems to be like one less item of clothing dressed. Seems to be losing items of clothing as he continues to engage in what's going on.
Until the end of the night.
Well, as of now, he's decent. Yes.
Okay. Tozan is probably gonna set up somewhere and begin discussing, sharing some of his old war stories. If anyone actually wants to listen to them, that is.
I'm just imagining you talk for ages, and then you realise that
You
the
didn't actually
one
tell
fair,
them
the
what.
one like the one satyr you were talking to, he's wandered off.
All right. Yeah. So, Elizabeth, as you're kind of watching things going, you see Janrik kind of slip out of the fray, shirtless and missing socks, and he kind of twirls up to you and
He's just in his tighty whities.
he asks to have a conversation with you. He wants to interact with you.
Okay. Do you want me to go and pick up your clothes for you? Oh God.
That's not the kind of answer you
see.
want to hear. You want to grab your clothes for you? Oh God.
So they're having some kind of a conversation in the private channel. So what's everyone else doing? Chaya, what are you up to?
Probably leaning against a tree, sipping ever so gingerly alcoholic beverage because she's a lightweight. And
Lightweight.
watching. Yep.
Okay.
Watching the tomfoolery ensue.
Apparently, I'm telling war stories to a stump.
Yeah,
Please.
eventually Shalon comes back over and ushers you over, tells to come hang out with the other centaurs. They're over there telling war stories. They see your scars and your age. You have the look of a fighter about you, and they invite you over to kind of pass the time telling
Yeah.
stories.
Bro it out with the bro.
Bro, it's all bro status over there.
Yeah, bro.
We return and start dancing together. Although I make sure that it's not any up close dancing.
It's middle school
Very
dancing.
naked.
Middle school dancing.
Yeah.
Arm's length. You gotta leave room for the Holy Spirit.
Gotta leave room for the spiritual weapon.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
What is that?
What is that?
Why does it unsettle me?
Me too.
It's a very normal. It's not even that weird of a picture, except that the baby's
just a
black and white.
It's because there's no context to it that makes it unsettling.
Yeah,
That they came from Jenner.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
What's the picture?
That's a curtain.
Just like unsettle me.
Good, that's what Kurt wants.
So, the night goes on. The moon travels across the sky. Drinks are poured and drinking. Food is served and eaten. Songs are played, and the dancing goes deep into the night. But eventually, you notice that things are starting to wrap up. The music kind of gets slower and quieter, and there's less creatures about. They seem to be slipping off into the forest. And Scarrett, this whole time, has just been not really partaking, but watching quietly. Quiet contemplation. Have you come?
I think I'm gonna go up to him.
Okay. So you walk up to him. He stays laying down, but even in that state, he's equal to your height, even a little taller.
Oh, that's very tall.
Yes.
I notice you don't really join in. Might have more fun if you did.
I do from time to time. These are my people. And it is good for me to watch. To see them enjoy themselves. I saw that you enjoyed yourself a little bit.
It kind of felt like something was lifted. Like I could stop feeling like the past was being held over me and actually enjoy myself. Don't do that often.
Do you know much about the Fae?
I had one book of stories when I was little. I don't know how much of them are true. Some of your people are telling me they're all true, some are saying that none of them are true, so I don't know who to believe.
Well, that is the
I don't
truth.
think I know much.
Do you know of the Summer Court?
I got told about it in the least informative way possible. I know it exists.
I am a lord of the Summer Court, but only just. And I prefer to stay in my own lands, to be in the forest, to walk my own path. Queen Titania would prefer me to be more subservient, but that is not who I am.
I can respect that.
I feel that you are the same, you and I, in this regard.
Yeah, I'd say so.
If you bond yourself to me, child, that will not make outlandish claims upon your life. I am more interested to see what you do than what I can make you do. That is your choice, of course.
As much as it might not be the wisest thing to make more deals with strange folk, I'm interested to see where this leads.
Well, I'm less of a stranger than you might think.
You're still strange. Not a stranger.
Well, I am the Fae. And I sense that there's a bit of chaotic nature in you as well. And he reaches out. So, are you going to bond with him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he reaches out and he touches the gem around your neck, and it flares with a green light. And you feel this the same type of magical spark and energy filling your soul, but it's of a different flavor, a different color. If you could put a color on the type of magic that was connected with the blade, it would be more of a red or a black. But if you're thinking about this light energy and magic that's filling you now, this connection that you have, the colors that come to mind are green or maybe even gold. And this empty void that was left when Elrocul's magic left you has now been filled with Scarrett's magic.
That feels like a better fit.
Yeah. And so you're no longer you're now a Fae warlock.
Oh. Okay.
So you're gonna have to change some stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, green buddies.
Yeah! Oh god, yeah! I'm just gonna go frolic in the woods.
I used to have a sword buddy, like, aside from Roland, but now it's only Roland.
It's only Roland.
Sorry.
Roland's buddies with everybody.
I have a
Yeah.
sword.
Only a green one.
I just won't be able to use it very well. Okay. I'm gonna give curtsy to the faking. I've seen some people curtsy before. It's not a good curtsy, but I do it anyway.
He nods his head. You should get some rest. You have many adventures ahead.
And after all of the dancing and the drinking, I think I need to.
Okay.
And I will retire for the evening.
Okay. So it's late. It's probably like early-ish in the morning. Like almost dawn, and you can actually see the sun like peeking up. Well, you can't because you're in a forest, but you see like through the branches of the sky, or through the branches of the tree, you can see that the sky is lightening. You can see these bioluminescent funguses and mosses kind of shrink in to themselves or into the cracks of the tree itself. By this time, most of the creatures have disappeared into the forest. Even the instruments themselves are just laying down in the grass left. Strings frayed or broken. And you and Thomas and the rest of the crew is all that's left in the clearing next to the tree. What do you guys want to do?
Change my shit.
Yeah, just, you know, rolling out with my centaur bros.
Are they gone now?
Yeah, eventually they're gone. Yeah.
Oh, the music is still going. So
I know, I'm trying to get it down here.
let's try again. At this point, we might want to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys want to take a long rest?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. I mean, we
Yeah.
probably need one just from the party.
All right, so you guys kind of set up your camp. You guys are a little tipsy or a lot tipsy. You guys are kind of like
Depending on the
looking around for Janrik, and you find him like passed out underneath a bush. His it's just his legs sticking out.
No, it's not a bush. I just lost my drawers.
Oh gosh.
Oh wow. Come on.
So you make him decent and bundle him up in his bedroll, and you guys end up taking a long rest. But the first part of the morning passes uneventfully. You get 8 hours of rest. It's around 3 or 4 o'clock, and you guys wake up around 12 afternoon. High noon. You wake up to see the rays of sunlight streaming directly down through the branches of the tree, and the clearing near the tree that was so full of frivolity and music and laughter and song is now quiet, like that of a normal forest. Even the instruments are gone. They've disappeared sometime while you were sleeping, and there's really no hint, if you were to look around, at what happened the night before.
Does anyone just feel like they had a really weird dream? Just me?
It is in fact most nights when one has had a perhaps touch too much to drink.
I didn't even feel like any of that was actually real. Who gets to say that they partied with fairies? Like,
There's a joke in there.
I must say, since I have made their acquaintance, they have had very strange experiences. It just goes to show that one is never too old to find new things to learn.
Okay. New day, new start. What are we doing?
Question.
Can I just say
I
the
think
swell
that-
of that music was perfect.
I say perhaps going back to the bar tonight might be a good idea.
Sure, we
It
don't
would
want
be
to go
good.
head first into uncovering someone's body and bringing it to a lich.
Ah, yes. That
Yeah.
task.
We need to try to get to our backlog of errands, so to speak.
Side quests.
Mm.
I didn't want to make it sound like that, but we have our we already cleared up 2 party members kind of thing. Now we need to get to the next one. Slowly undo all the favors and IOUs.
Is Thomas still with us at this point?
Yes. Yeah, you guys have like a small fire going, and he's kind of around the fire.
But he
Poking
was in
around.
the party. Did he party at all? Or
No,
did you see him dancing while leaving?
definitely not. He was more somberly hanging out at the edges of things.
I, as a creepy guy who stands at the edge of the park, wearing a hoodie.
Oh, I was thinking of him as like Lieutenant Dan on New Year's.
Perfect.
Speaking of, my friends, I suppose that we have now been together long enough that I have a couple of things I should make you aware of about me and my goals. Well, I am looking for someone, and your sister, Madame Elizabeth, is already aware of this. But so far, I have nothing to go on. I know that he is here, and he is in the Somber Hills, but they are wide. When I have something, I would like your help, if I can ask for it.
Well,
Can we ask who it is you're looking for?
this good start.
I wouldn't wish to burden you with a long and painful story, unless you wish to have the details. But the basics of it is that he is a tiefling, young, and perhaps in his 30s now. And, well, he will most likely have a squad of trained soldiers with him. He is, and the soldiers as well, from the same place as I.
What do you want to say to him? Just you just having a chat, having a catch up, or do you
Something like that, yes.
did he do
want to
something
talk-
bad to you?
Oh,
Did you
no.
do something bad to
No.
him?
If anything, I am the one who has failed him. And I must ensure that my mistake will not cost him too much. But it might come to violence. I do not know. I do not wish to think about that either. It is
Well-
a strange thing for a man who has known violence as long as I have, who has worn it like a cloak. Now, the first time in my life, I tried to prevent it.
have
can-
my blade and my shield. Least
we
I can do
add
for you.
it. Can add it to the list.
Exactly.
The list is already big enough. I don't think it matters if there's another thing.
Oh, we took 2 off. Adding 1 is fine.
2 steps forward, 1 step back.
It
Yeah.
should not
But that's
be-
okay.
It should not be too great or blatant on you. It is only on me, my conscience, anybody's life.
I mean, he's a tiefling. I'm sure that we share a special bond of some kind. Like, I don't know. I've not met many of us.
Neither has
And around
Really?
Thomas sidles up to the conversation. You said tiefling.
yes.
I don't know if it's a coincidence, but he looks at you, Elizabeta. There aren't many of you in these lands. And then I've seen one in the employ of Gar Shatterkeel.
What? Was he wearing armor black or slightly, and have a troop of men under him who were most likely not from this place? Probably they would have curved swords, like this one. I say drawing out my original curved sword.
He reaches out, takes it from you. Yes, I believe they had similar swords. Though the armor is different. They've taken on the armor of the Cult of the Crushing Wave. They've taken up with them. They are rather new to the cause, but surprisingly have risen in the ranks quickly. They're Gar's shock troopers at this time. The attack upon the barge, right? That was them. They were the ones that delivered the devastation orb.
I see. And they are with these cultists of the crushing wave.
Yes. They answer to Gar Shatterkeel himself.
Thank you. This information is worrying me to know that they have no offense to
Well, I'm through with them at this point.
congratulate you for it. It is the right career. But him, he worries me. I hope I will not be too late.
Thomas seems to be packing up his things, and he walks to you, Roland, and he gives you a hug. Son, I have much to be sorry for, much to atone for. I don't ask for your forgiveness just yet, but I do ask that you would consider it. I return to the land of our home. Hopefully I'll be able to restore your mother to life.
I know that you have many regrets, and how you deal with them is entirely up to you. But I think this is only a new chapter for you, and it's one where you will have not just me, not just Maliki, but you'll have your whole family behind you again. So I know you can do it. You're the person who inspired me, and I always know you're the good man, deep down.
He walks over to Rain. Your mother She is insane. Be wary of her. She wants nothing more than for you to join the cause. But I wouldn't put it past her to kill her own daughter. And he picks up his pack, puts it on, turns to the group. Well, I'm off. Do you have any questions for me before I leave?
I have a few. Elizabeth's brother, do you have any idea where he might be? Was one in our group who we thought was him. What do you call it?
The doppelganger.
Doppelganger, yes.
Well, that one is still alive. Keep an eye out. That's how we knew you were coming. It should come to no surprise that you were a thorn in all of the cultist sides. They were becoming quite concerned with you. You were clearing out their surface outposts and making incursions and clearing out our temple infrastructure as well. When we learned that we had one of your own in our custody, this wasn't my decision, but they joined forces in an effort to get ahead of you and eradicate you as the problem. Initially,
Sorry.
sure, yeah, go ahead.
Insight check him
Sure.
just to check if that was really not his decision. Continue.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. As best as you can tell, it seems like he's telling the truth.
Okay. Thank you.
The goal was to try to insert him into your group. And it happened a little sooner than they had planned. When you went into the monastery and found the operations below. At that point, he was being used as a spy to get information from the other prisoners as to where we could find more folks to take and put into our employ or press into service. It was just happenstance that you arrived and he took the initiative to join your group a little sooner than we had planned, or they had planned. But he had been in communication with us since the barge ride. He alerted us that you were coming. And that's why we were able to set the trap and capture you. Where your brother is now, I don't know. The last I heard, he was down in the Fane. Oh, that's right. You don't know what the Fane is.
No, I was about to ask someone if I missed something.
You see, there are the surface outposts, Feathergale, the Monastery, Riverguard, and Scarlet Moon Hall. Below each one is a sprawling dwarven stronghold, ages old, perhaps millennia. Each one of our sects has its own portion of it. Then they interconnect. But even farther below that is a large temple called the Temple, the Fane of the Eye. It's a very large space. We have our own portion of it. It's smaller than the sprawling temple complex above, but I think there you would find at least one of the prophets. And it's from the Fane that you're able to access the nodes. Each node, each cult has its own node. You saw ours when you were down and below. Working on the statue. But each cult has its own, and it's accessed through the Fane. And the Fane can be accessed from each of the temple complexes above. Ours was through that floating platform. And in theory, you can get up to each of the temple complexes from the Fane below.
Okay, well, that makes me even less hopeful that we'll find him, but thank you for telling us anyway.
You had a couple of questions, Monk. That was one.
Yeah,
What name?
you may have answered it already, but did the doppelganger or anyone else have one of these? She pulls out the sending stone.
Hmm.
That you were aware of.
That's how he was able to communicate with us.
Ah, yes, of course. I was informed that someone might have one of these. Finally, we had reason to believe that there may have been a spy in Red Larch. Would you know anything about that?
We have spies everywhere. They were planted in every town. Who it is in Red Larch, I don't know.
I see. Dale had to go, but I think he wanted
Oh, he did?
to
Yeah. Didn't want to interrupt you.
ask about the crashing wave.
So Dale, Tozen, if you ask about that, the way into the Riverguard, the way into the temple, the water temple, is through Riverguard Keep. There's a river that runs underneath it that can be accessed beneath the main keep area. If you follow that river, eventually you'll find your way into their temple complex. I assume that's where you'll find your friend that you're searching for. Be careful. These prophets, Gar Shatakil, your mother, the priestess of the wind, they are powerful, and they're wary. It was a huge blow for you to kill the prophet of the earth, but now they know your power. They are worried and they will take you seriously. I think you will find the others not so easy to defeat. But if you do not, they will release the elemental princes into the world, and they will reshape the world as we know it.
Good to know.
Thank you for your help.
Of course.
Good to know. That's just a bit terrifying.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, we'll be
Let's
fine.
see me
I
pop.
was much better not knowing any of that.
I mean, we had to know at some point. I guess.
Well, I take my leave. I'm sorry for the trouble I've caused you and the world, and I seek to make it up, to atone for my actions. Perhaps
I
our
look forward to
paths, perhaps our paths will cross again. Son, until next time.
Until next time.
And with that, Thomas,
Oh, come on. You can't. Look, you haven't seen each other in so long. You can't just leave without. You can't give each other a hug.
We hugged earlier.
he looks over his
Well,
shoulder.
now he's actually leaving, so you have to give him a hug again.
But emotions.
He walks away.
He's still so brooding. You'd think he would cheer up a bit. He's got his wife back.
Technically, he's got his wife as a necklace.
My leaky said she'd bring her back, you know.
So, our group stands in a forest next to a huge magical oak, watching.
Has the forest changed at all?
No, it's as you remember it.
So I might have just permanently fucked up the Cairn Road.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you did.
The trade route's ruined.
Actions
there's-
have consequences.
I've just ruined the livelihoods of multiple cities of people.
Remember this guy?
And
Remember the shepherd?
Yeah.
Wonder where he's gonna graze his sheep.
I've just fucked up everything up.
But
from
the
work.
local woodcutters guild loves you.
Oh, that's true.
No.
That's true.
Hi, Forest.
My
touchy.
first.
No touchy.
No touchy.
So our group stands
So-
in this great forest, watching Thomas walk off into it. You're refreshed. Spell slots back, hit points back. Looking off into the forest, wondering what comes next. And we should probably leave it at that today.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, Elizaveta and Roland's gotta go full green with their character sheets.
We're
now.
hippies now.
yeah. Yep, the
Okay.
two edgelords are now
Yeah.
nature themed.
That's the cycle of things. And then eventually you're gonna be like middle-aged conservatives, just working 9 to 5 and 2.5 kids each, and
You're like, damn, I used to stab corpses.
yeah.
You know,
You used
It's
to
what's happened?
Used to desecrate prophet bodies. Now
Yeah.
I'm a blacksmith.
yeah. Now I'm in a cubicle, 9 to 5.
Doing up the dollar sign.
Oh yeah,
What song is that?
the one
9
that
to 5?
literally,
Oh.
working 9 to 5.
Which was featured in Deadpool 2.
I didn't see
In the
that.
last episode of Orville.